Hi everybody, it's Lynne Huysamen here again, and today I just wanted to share with you one of my biggest achievements so far, and that is quitting smoking. 6 months ago I stopped smoking. It was the 1st of October 2015, so this Friday just passed, the 1st of April, would have been 6 months that I haven't had a cigarette. And this is a huge achievement because I started smoking when I was 14 and I quit smoking when I was 36. That is 22 years of smoking cigarettes, of being like, a prisoner to smoking. So I actually honestly never believed that I would be able to do it. I just didn't. Yeah, I'm still sitting here surprised at myself. So I just wanted to share with you, in this time I've kind of taken a bit of thought into exactly how was it that I managed to achieve this, and I hope that maybe if you follow the same route, you could also stop smoking. So the first thing that you need to do, in my opinion, is think about what are the reasons you want to quit smoking. The fact is, if you're not ready, it's not going to happen. You're not going to quit. So if you're not ready, don't do it yet. Wait a while. So my reasons for quitting smoking are basically my children. And what happened with me was my daughter came to me. When was it? It was, it's a slow process. She came to me and she said to me, when I'm big, I'm going to grow up big like you. I'm going to wear your clothes, and then I'm going to smoke. This comes from a 3-year-old. That made me feel like shit. It made me feel like a failure, like I'm teaching my daughter the wrong things. And, the thing is, they don't do what you say, they do what you do. They follow you, they copy you. So this was the first major big spark. I mean, I've known for years. As soon as you start smoking and you're addicted, you realize you've got to quit. But you fool yourself and you think that you can do it any time, and time just goes on and on and on. But that was the first big thing that said to me, this is it, Lynne. You've got to quit. Maybe not today, but you've got to quit. And you've got to do it quite soon, because this is what you're doing to your children. And then also it was my daughter again, and this was about 3 weeks later. She asked me to come play a game with her. I don't know, I think it was Snakes and Ladders or something. And I said to her, sure, I will. Just give me a minute. And she said to me, oh, okay, are you going to go outside for a smoke? She didn't say it in an accusing way or anything. And maybe that was even worse. But it made me realize that I put smoking above everything else. And especially my child. Every time she wanted to do something, I said, yes, sure. Let mommy just smoke first. And what does that say to your child? Every time it says, my cigarettes are more important than you. I would rather have a cigarette first than play a game with you. And that broke my heart. That one broke my heart. And that was the crunch. That's when I said to myself, this is it. I'm going to quit smoking. So that was the decision to quit. And that was my reason why. And this actually, this would be step 3 in the 12 steps. Made a decision. So, that did it for me. And I'm quite grateful to my daughter. And then the second thing I suggest you do is set a date to quit. It could even be 6 months' time, whatever. I think I gave myself a month to kind of mentally adjust and prepare myself. And I don't know why, but this worked for me. And then the third thing I think you should do is you should tell people. What I did is I actually wrote about it on my blog. I don't know if I did a YouTube video, but I posted it. I sent it out there on the web to everybody in the whole world. And I said, I'm going to quit smoking. And this is the date. I had no way to wiggle out of it. I could have turned around and said, sorry guys, I've decided not to quit. I'm too weak. But I'm a very stubborn person. And for me, this worked. This worked, sending it out there. So I suggest that you try it. Hopefully it'll work for you too. And the other thing is, don't do nicotine replacement, and don't cut down on your smoking. The thing is, the second you're not smoking, you are craving. This is how addiction works. If you're not physically consuming the drug at that particular time, then you are craving it. And it's as simple as that. So if you're smoking, say, 30 cigarettes or 20 cigarettes a day, and you go say, well, I'm going to slowly cut down, and I'm going to smoke 10 a day, and then I'm going to smoke 5 a day. And when I'm smoking 5 a day, then I'll quit. The thing is, you're torturing yourself. You are literally torturing yourself, that whole process. I suggest you actually smoke more. Stuff them in, pack them in. That's what I did. The day before I quit smoking, I smoked 2 boxes of cigarettes. I actually felt, no, I felt sick. And then there's no regrets also. I had 4 cigarettes left in my box, and I was quite sad because I couldn't pack them in before midnight. So I threw them away, and they still haunt me to this day. I think I should have smoked those 4 cigarettes. But yeah, I need to let that go. But yeah, to go and put like nicotine patches on your body, or nicotine chewing gum, or the vape with nicotine, you are actually just prolonging it. You're just taking one addiction and you're putting another one in, especially that vape. I know lots of people smoke it. My husband now is smoking the vape. But like to go from smoking cigarettes to being addicted to a piece of plastic, I don't know. Hey, it's just not for me. I'd feel kind of silly. So yeah, my suggestion is don't go for any nicotine replacement. Don't do any of that. Just do it. You're just prolonging the agony, in my opinion, and it can be done. And what I've heard and what I've seen is the people that use the nicotine replacement therapy, it just seems that they're not quite as successful. Perhaps try something, if you want to try something, go for, what is that, the hypnotherapy? Yeah, give that a go. Why not? Okay, and then I suggest you read the book, Fuck It, The Ultimate Spiritual Way. There is another YouTube video on my channel which you can watch about that. And I actually read this book after I quit smoking. But it was really, really helpful because if you read through my posts, you'll see my first one I wrote there. I kept just saying, fuck it, really, really loud. And for some reason that eased off the craving a little bit. Where you can read about it and you can watch the video. I'll put a link through so you can read that post. But I highly suggest that book. And, the main thing is that what the guy says is, fuck it. If something's not working, either accept it or change it. But if you change it, change it. And if you accept it fully. So either smoke or don't smoke. Fuck it. And then the other thing I suggest you do is read Alan Carr. Alan Carr's book is The Easy Way to Quit Smoking. And it's a brilliant book. In fact, when I first read it a few years ago, when my sister gave it to me when she quit smoking, and I wasn't ready, and I knew I wasn't ready, but I thought I'll read the book because she gave it to me, and it worked for her. She actually went to an Alan Carr workshop, and then she gave me the book. So I read this book, and immediately I got a bit angry with it because it was so spot on. I'm an addict. I'm nearly 8 years clean. I've worked a program of recovery. I know how it works. And to read this and to see everything, I could see it so clearly that, yeah, that was also something that kind of, put a little, spark into me wanting to quit smoking. But it spoke about the fear. It spoke a lot about the fear of quitting smoking. And that's what it ultimately comes down to. I mean, what are you scared of? Do you think you're going to die if you don't have a cigarette? You're not going to die. You're just going to feel uncomfortable. But it's, really think about it. You're actually going to be free from cigarettes. You're going to be free from the chains of addiction. You're not going to die. But there's this intense fear within us. I remember even when I was smoking, if I went to the shop 5-minute drive away, and halfway there I'd think, oh, fuck, I left my cigarettes behind. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Panic, panic, panic. Well, I'm 5 minutes from home. I can just do a U-turn, go back and fetch my cigarettes, or I can go to the shop, buy my milk, go home. And it's going to be, 10 minutes? But that fear, I mean, what the hell is that? It's like so bad, but you're living with that on a constant basis. So, yeah, I think read Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Smoking. It is a brilliant, brilliant book. The other thing is your mindset. And this is what the Alan Carr book does. It really sets your mindset into the right place, your frame of mind. You need to look at it like you are free from addiction. You're not losing something. You are freeing yourself from something that was chaining you. And I think that was really, really beautiful. And it's hard to keep this mindset when you're craving a cigarette. You get very angry, very irritated, you're jittery, you just can't even think. But to try and keep that mindset is really, really important. And then the other thing is, number 7, do anything but smoke. And this is something that I did. Okay, well, for me, I said, don't touch cocaine, don't drink, don't smoke weed, and don't smoke. Obviously, I'm an addict and an alcoholic, so drinking or using drugs is also something I can't do. I told myself, as long as you don't pick up a cigarette, a drug, or a drink, that's fine. Be easy on yourself. Eat those cookies, eat those chips, drink that coffee. And I have a big problem still. I've about 8 cups a day. I'll be addressing that soon in one of my next posts. Yeah, just go easy on yourself and do whatever you have to do to quit smoking. It's fine. Just don't smoke that cigarette. The next thing is 1 moment at a time. Take it 1 minute at a time if you have to. 30 seconds. 1 day at a time. And this comes from the 12-step program. And it really works. If you just stay in the moment, don't think about the fact you're never going to have a cigarette for the rest of your life. You know, when you're sitting there craving and you're like, you know, frustраted, you just can't think about the next 10 years or 20 years. Just think about the next 2 minutes and get through that, and then get through the next 2 minutes. You know, and then number 9, watch out for the 3 threes. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. Those are the worst moments. For me, 3 weeks. You know, and it was so horrible because just before the 3 weeks, I kind of felt, hey, I can do this. I've done it. I'm a non-smoker. I was feeling really, really good. I was finally feeling like I could actually do this. And then it just came out of nowhere, hit me for a 6er. And it was worse than the first few days. It was literally so bad that I was, you know, when I say 1 moment at a time, I was going, I think at one time, I was going at 1 minute at a time and just sitting there. I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. I could barely sleep. So, yes, you know, just keep that in mind and watch out for the 3 threes. It's when you become complacent and you think you've done it, and then these things hit you from the side. You know, it's not a smooth journey. It's an up and a down. It's an absolute roller coaster. So just prepare for that. That you may be feeling great now, but in 5 minutes, you might go down. So watch out. And the other thing is 1 puff. That's the last thing. 1 puff and you are done for. A friend of mine gave up smoking a few years ago, and this friend recently had 1 puff. Back on a box a day. And that's it. It's the same with addiction. You can never use again. You may be a non-smoker, but you are still a nicotine addict, and you will always be a nicotine addict. So in 10 years' time, if you have 1 puff, you will have 1 box a day for the rest of your life. And then it will become more and more and more. And that's just the way that addiction works. So don't think you're special and different. And just remember, if you have 1 puff, you will be back right there where you were. So, yeah, if you like this video, please give it a like, give it a share, subscribe to my channel. The next thing I'm going to be talking about very, very soon is, you know, I spoke about give yourself a break, do anything but smoke, drink, or use drugs. Well, I'm drinking coffee, 8 cups a day. It's pumped full of sugar. Coke, not cocaine, thankfully. Coca-Cola, I'm drinking every single day. Sweets, cakes, chips and dip. I put on weight and it doesn't feel good. I'm starting to feel really yuck. So I gave myself 6 months to do whatever I want. So what I'm going to be tackling next is my caffeine addiction and my sugar addiction. So, and that's, yeah, basically cross-addicted into sugar and caffeine. So I'll be talking about cross-addiction soon. I'll be tackling that. I'll share with you how my journey is going. I don't think it's going to be very easy. So, yeah, till next time, thank you very much.